Good morning, friends. Jill here. Welcome back to Whispering Willow Farm. Holy cow, winter has arrived in Arkansas. It is a whopping 22 degrees out here. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I'm almost 30 years old and I despise coats. For some reason, coats just aren't my thing. They happen to also not be my children's thing. But when you work outside in the winter, it is essential. So while we were in South Carolina, I actually ordered a winter coat. Don't worry, this is not it. This is my $15 special at a thrift store. It's genuine leather. And it is the warmest coat I own right now. But I had to break it out in the insulated Carhartts and the scarf and the beanie because whoa. We woke up this morning and it was like 15 degrees. Tonight it is supposed to get down to 12 degrees. So we have some things we need to do and put in place, as you can imagine. Usually it just doesn't, like, here our winters start kicking in like February. If we're gonna get bad weather, it's gonna be in February. And so there are some things that we are doing today. I actually have recruited Nathan's help on this. It is kind of a two-person job. So we're gonna head down to the raised bed garden. I'm gonna show you guys what we're up to. Hope y'all are staying warm. I'd love to know too, just because I think it's so cool. So many of you guys are like, girl, you don't know cold. I totally get it. I know I really don't know cold. My friend Steve lives in Wisconsin and he was like, girl, you crazy. But I would love to know where you are tuning in from today and what the temperature is like where you are. So leave that in the comments below. We'll be sure to look at those. Let's head down to the raised bed garden. All right, I've recruited the guns of the operation.
The guns?
Yeah, and the face. She got a cute face. All right, we're trying. We chose like the wrong time to do this because it is so bright out here. But
so bright, and I was so comfy sitting on my recliner, and you got me out here in this freezing cold weather.
Thanks. All right, he actually doesn't even know what I have recruited him to do, so.
No.
Here's the deal, y'all. We have got overwintered flowers planted in the 3 beds. These are 4x48. That's right, these are 4x48. So we've got these 3 beds back here. We have got snapdragons, feverfew, foxglove, Chinese forget-me-nots.
That's a lot of F's.
It is a lot of F's. Didn't really think about that. So they're overwintered flowers, which means they are going to go dormant, and in some ways, you know, they look like they're dead, but they're not. So when the first frost came, it was a super light frost. They were not phased. Well, then we ended up having like an entire week where we were in the high 60s, high 70s. It climbed to like 82 one day. So these, like, our sweet peas are starting to like want to put on, you know, like blooms. Like all of our stuff is just, they think it's spring and it's summer. Well, then the next day we go from an 82 degree days to like, how low did it get?
Well, it got down into the high 20s, but it never creeped back up above like 40 degrees. So. Right.
So needless to say, it shocked them. And they were not happy. So a lot of my flowers look dead. It is kind of disheartening. I have went back and kind of pruned a lot of the foliage, and underneath there is green growth. So I do know they're gonna be okay. They have just been establishing root systems. I feel good about that. However, like I just mentioned in the beginning of this vlog, our winter weather happened in February. I mean, last February we had record-breaking snow. It was insane. If I had to guess, just based on how mild our winter has been so far, our winter's coming.
It's coming.
And it's probably coming this week or this month. So I'm expecting February, which we're not quite in February yet, but we just prepare for February. So we are doing some extra measures just to make sure. So if you live in a climate where it is super cold, and that's like normal for your winter, still my coffee, I would suggest putting row cover on your things, and that doesn't even have to be flowers. That can be vegetables. Say maybe you have root vegetables, you have brassicas. You can get that 9-gauge wire like Nathan and I use. You could use PVC pipe if you had it on hand, and put some of that row cover up. Just be mindful, if it does get super sunny, it is gonna bake, so you're gonna wanna go in and lift that off, which is kind of a pain. It can be a pain. You have to be mindful of that or you're gonna bake all your things. But just to ensure that these don't take another huge hit, we are gonna go ahead and put row cover on these, just in case we do get crazy snow.
That's what I'm recruited for.
That's what he's recruited for. We got our row cover from Johnny's. I'll try to find it and link it. But that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get some 9-gauge wire. We're gonna put up some row cover. We're gonna make sure these babies are snug because it's supposed to get down to like 10 and 12 degrees, which is just, it's really cold. I mean, it is really cold. And we've spent so much time.
Arkansas. Cold
for Arkansas, yeah. And I mean, Sean and I have just spent so much time on these flowers, and we're really betting on this. We are selling these things unlike our produce. And so we can't really afford to not take the extra measures. And so that is something you just kind of have to be prepared. We weren't really prepared in the sense that, you know, just our weather was crazy, and that's kind of like, there's only so many ways you can be prepared when you're dealing with the weather, you know. So that's what I'm recruiting you for today.
So I need to go find 9-gauge wire.
I actually have a lot of 9-gauge wire in the tunnel right now.
Okay.
So I'll help you. We'll go get that. I think what I might do too is strap the GoPro on you and let you get some footage. That way you guys can get some good action, and we'll have this camera rolling. We will kind of explain it. It is pretty simple. Depending on how you have your beds too, you don't have, like, we'll secure it with clamps, but if you had sandbags, if you had bricks, there's a lot of different ways that you could, you know, kind of secure the row cover on your stuff. We're going to use the clamps because that's what we have on hand. However, I do think it might be nice to keep some sandbags. I just think they work a bit better than the clamps.
I've got bags, no sand.
You've got bags and no sand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did buy bags last year. I forgot
Really?
the reason, but
Probably for our silage tarps.
maybe I forgot
Yeah.
why I bought them, but we just need to go get some sand.
All right, well, let's head down to the tunnel.
This is going to be quick too, by the way, 'cause I'm ready to get back.
That wind is intense. Also, while we're waiting on Nathan, he went to go find some work gloves. My tunnel is done, pretty much. The only thing that's left on the tunnel is a latch for the door and the cranks for the roll-up sides. We are still trying to troubleshoot the tables, but y'all, she's a beauty. I have been so ready for seed starting, I cannot even tell you. Nathan was actually on the phone today trying to figure out where we can get electricity run out here, because we're gonna be using this greenhouse year round, so we're either gonna need heat or fans in here. Have you seen the tunnel since it's been done? You wanna take a tour? Also, I had told our viewers that we need to name it. We did name, actually, the big tunnel, which I don't think I ever announced this, but the big tunnel is 4 seasons. I'll go, when I do that, when we like get our little signs or whatever, I'll go and find whoever submitted that and give them credit. But it was one of you guys, and so I thought that was really sweet. I want to name the seed starting tunnel.
Yeah. Suggestions.
Suggestions. All right. So.
Like a tunnel tour?
Well, I just wanted to pretty much show you and them real quick. So these sides will have a crank and it'll roll up and let some good airflow. It's so big. And then we'll have to secure the door with a latch.
I'm
Put
excited
a
to
nice
see it.
stencil. I'm gonna stencil our logo on there.
Are you really?
Yeah, won't that be cool?
That would be neat. I'm excited to see how warm it is in here.
Oh yeah, let's see.
go.
I need to get a thermometer.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's obviously warm enough that the vent back there opened.
I know it. It's probably 60 degrees in here.
Yeah, I need to order one of those. I definitely need to order a thermometer. The nice thing too is this was like probably my favorite feature is we have Sean built the tunnel around the phosphorus hydrant back here, which will be really nice that this is actually in the tunnel.
Yeah, I installed that.
Look at you go! See, you are a good farmer.
Yeah.
This thing is huge.
It
Look
is.
at this. I just feel so professional. Do you ever have those moments where you like come outside and you're like, I know what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
That's how I feel after I cook a good meal.
Oh yeah.
Like an experimental meal.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Hey, I cooked a really good meal the other night and I only burnt about half of it.
It was a good meal and you didn't burn it.
I tried.
Hey, I got our gloves.
Okay.
And I wanted to give a shout out to our friends Jeff and Candace. Check these out. They got these ridge cut gloves, I think from Tractor Supply maybe.
Uh-huh.
And they went and they got our names and our logo engraved in them.
Yeah. And then they did, I think I've shown our coffee cups before. They got us thermal coffee cups, just the same thing. They were etched in it. I'm a sucker for like personalized stuff like that. So yes, Jeff and Candace, we love you guys.
We love you guys, and on a day like today, having the right tools, which include gloves,
yes,
is essential.
It's essential.
My hands are freezing.
You know, all these like real northerners are just like chuckling at us right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's 20 degrees and you act like the world's ending. All right, you go feed the pigs. I'm gonna start taking wire down in the tunnel. I'm actually robbing Peter to pay Paul because we might actually put row cover in the tunnel too. We'll be checking that 10-day forecast and see what the weather's like. We may end up adding some extra warmth in there, but for the time being, I don't want to have to cut anymore. I'm sure Nathan doesn't either. So we're just gonna go steal some. Wonder how warm it is in here. Whoa, it is toasty. We are at about 70 degrees. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take all of this wire off. I got quite a few of these. I think this is enough right now. I actually took these off of the beds that had our vegetables in it, which we're going to be harvesting soon anyways. And I tried to leave all of them on the flower beds. That way I wouldn't be doing double the work. Are all these bags full of leaves for the compost?
Some of them have got soil, seed starting soil.
Oh, so yeah, we got seed starting soil, leaves for our compost. So, that's awesome.
I'm gonna go feed the chickens so they'll be quiet so we can video.
Okay, so the plan is to space our hoops at least 6 feet apart. We would probably do them tighter, but we don't have the wire right now, so we're kind of just like working with what we got. And we're gonna do it 6 feet apart, see where we're at, and then if we have plenty left over, we might add some more in there for support. So that is what we are about to do. All right, guys. So we ordered let's see, what did we order?
83 by 500. Bro.
Yeah, 83 inches by 500 foot. So this should be more than enough to do all of our beds. And the good thing about this stuff is, so this was $245, but it is a one-time investment, and same with our insect netting. We just take care of it. When we're done, we roll it up nice, we put them in totes and we store them. And so therefore you're able to use it over and over and over again. So I would encourage you guys, if you're in the market, just invest in it, but make sure you take care of it. That way you're not having to continuously buy more and spend money on that. Nathan and I thought we would mention, maybe don't choose the windiest day to do this job. Learn from our mistakes. Clearly, Nate and I were on the struggle bus. This wind is just kind of intense, so we are going to press pause on this. Really, too, the clamps that we have are just not working the way we want them to, so we may end up having to get sand and filling those sandbags. So, check the forecast. Make sure you don't choose the windiest or the coldest day in your forecast to do this. But we just don't want to work super hard on something and be fighting the elements when we could just wait a little bit. So that's what we are going to do. But we're probably going to go inside, have a cup of coffee, and warm up. My face is like frigid. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today as we attempted to put row cover on our flowers. Maybe in the next vlog it'll be done and I can show you guys what it looks like. But thanks for hanging out. We'll talk to you soon.